Zeus plans to wipe out all the inhabitants of the island, but some of the gods aren't happy about it. Meanwhile, in the underworld, the escape of our old friend is planned, who with one touch can turn Zeus's plans upside down. Who will save Midas? What happened to his powers, and what does Jules have to do with it? How will this season end, and what will become of the map? And most importantly, what will happen at the main event? Hi everybody, I'm Philly. Grab some goodies, sit back, watch closely, and let's go. With the start of the season, strange altars with a bowl in the middle have appeared in new locations. However, the first time you try to talk to it, a mysterious voice will tell you to visit it later. But as soon as the first phase of this season's story trials began, we got the chance to talk to the Oracle face to face. Except her predictions aren't particularly optimistic. Zeus is about to unleash a real apocalypse on the island. And the only ones who can stop him are us, of course. Well, who else? It looks like we'll have to sweat a lot. Otherwise, Zeus will turn the island into a post-apocalyptic world. According to the data miners, Zeus is really going to get rid of all the inhabitants of the island, and for this he will use an ancient artifact, the hourglass. Except that the mechanism of its operation is not known at all. But I would venture to guess that as soon as the sand from the first half moves to the second half, something really strange will happen. For example, our reality will simply cease to exist, or every inhabitant of the island will literally dissolve into the island. But alternatively, the hourglass could be a kind of timer, and when it comes to the end, the island will begin a real apocalypse. In favor of this option is the fact that there are more and more hints about the theme of the next season. About 2 or 3 years ago, concept art of locations that Epic were working on for the new season was leaked online, but the locations themselves were not released. Also, recently, Epic Games published a poll with skins that will definitely appear in the game at some point. And among them, you can notice a very interesting trend. If before there were a lot of characters associated with ancient Greece, now there are a lot of skins that are associated with the theme of the wasteland or apocalypse, mutated vegetables, scavengers, and other dudes who made their armor out of whatever was at hand. This could be Epic's way of setting the stage for next season. And given that the Oracle of Predictions is talking about some choking dust and dark skies, it's entirely possible. But as the data miners say, it's most likely not going to happen because of Zeus's hourglass, but because the river of souls will spill out all over the island. Near the end of the season, all the water on the island is supposed to be poisoned by the underworld. However, how true this is, we will only be able to judge with the next update. If the river of showers really will gradually change all the water around, then I won't be able to swim in the rivers on the island. Thus, absolutely, the entire map will look like the underworld looks now. Anyway, so far the situation is not in our favor at all. But what if I told you that not all the gods share Zeus's plan? After completing all the story quests, Oracle will tell us how to defeat the gods of Olympus. In short, we need to prove to the gods that we are worthy to be the rulers of this island. And for this, we will have to pass the prepared tests that will test our strength. Somewhere we'll have to run, and somewhere we'll have to defeat Ares himself. In this way, we can win over some of the gods to our side. It is unlikely that all the friends of Zeus will agree to such a venture, but at least Aphrodite is already on our side. But in the meantime, another rebellion against the gods is being prepared. The Midas Rebellion. For the moment, though, the guest of honor of the Kingdom of Hades is still in comfortable solitary confinement. And from the looks of it, there's a real rat in the ranks of the god of the dead. There is no other way to explain Midas's escape from the most protected room on the island. It's probably some kind of guard. I hope we find out who it is when Midas gets free. After all, perhaps if it wasn't for this fellow, we would have waited another 4 years for the return of such a cool character. Perhaps, of course, Midas's release will be Marigold doing, but I doubt it. If you have your own theories, then write detailed theories in the comments. Well, Midas's plan is simple enough. Show everyone on the island that the real boss is back for revenge, and to do that, he has no problem flooding the entire island with golden lava. But I think it's just a diversion for something really big. And knowing Midas's love for such secretive moves to surprise absolutely everyone, it seems that the lava flood will turn out to be a screen for something more interesting. Plus, there's still a stub in the game files for Midas's own story trials. It's quite possible that the genius of the underworld will figure out Zeus's plan to destroy the islanders immediately after his release. And then, the newly assembled legendary team of agents will have to think how to show who is the real power on the island. After his release, however, things don't go smoothly for Midas. According to Jules, her father has completely lost control of his golden touch. In a nutshell, Midas can no longer turn objects into gold at will. Everything he touches turns to gold. The loss of control over his ability can also be seen in Midas's new skin. If you examine it in detail, it's quite noticeable that the gold from the wrist gotten much higher. His tattoos now have a gilded hue even at the elbow. And right after his release, Jules will start working on gloves that will help Midas control his abilities. Personally, though, I'm not quite sure what will make the golden touch fail. Hopefully, it will be explained to us. Alternatively, we can try to justify it by death. But agree, given that Midas will escape from the underworld, it sounds quite delusional. Anyway, the plot is moving very fast, and I've been waiting a very long time for this. If Epic doesn't lose that fervor by the end of the season, we're going to get one of the best storylines in recent memory. Really, Charlie Wen's main thing is not to... If we're going to develop the plot, we need to close all the character branches that we have at the moment, so that it does not turn out that Midas will be mercilessly dumped, and in his place will come another no-name organization. It seems to me that at the end of the Epic season, they have prepared some kind of event for us, which will take us to the new season. It's not really my guess, but I'll keep a close eye on the news and post it to you. Well, I thank everyone who watched this video without rewinding. It was me, Philly. Good luck.